I'd like to say good morning to everybody.
Good morning.
I'm going to be reading Galatians, the 4th chapter, and I will be reading out of a Holy Name Bible containing the Holy Name version of the Old and New Testaments, critically compared with ancient authorities and various manuscripts, revised by the late A.B. Trainer of the Scripture Research Association. Galatians, the 4th chapter. Now I say that the heir, as long as he is a child, differ nothing from a servant, though he be owner of all, but is under tutors and governors until the time appointed of the Father. Even so we, when we were children, were in bondage under the elements of the world. But when the fullness of time was come, Yahweh sent forth his Son, made of a woman, made subject to the law, to redeem them that were under the law, that we might receive the adoption of sons. And because ye are sons, Yahweh has set forth the Spirit of his Son into your hearts, crying, Abba, Father, Abi, my Father. Wherefore thou art no more a servant, but a son, and if a son, then an heir of Yahweh through the Messiah. Howbeit then, when we knew not Yahweh, we did service unto them which by nature are nothing but idols. But now, after ye have known of Yahweh, or rather are known of Yahweh, now how turn ye again to the weak and beggarly elements, whereunto ye desire again to be under bondage? Ye observe days and months and times and years. I am afraid of you, lest I have bestowed upon you labor in vain. Brethren, I beseech you, be as I am, for I am as ye are. Ye have not injured me at all. Ye know how through infirmity of the flesh I preached the gospel unto you at first, and my weakness which was in my flesh ye despised not, nor rejected, but received me as an angel of Elohim, even as the Messiah Yahshua. Where is then the blessedness ye spoke of? For I bear you record that if it had been possible, you would have been plucked out your own eyes and given them to me. I am therefore become your enemy, because I tell you the truth. They are zealous towards you, but not for your good. They would exclude us, that we might be zealous for them. For it is good to be zealously affected always in a good thing, and not only when I am present with you, my little children, of whom I travail in birth again, until the Messiah be formed in you. I desire to be present with you now, and to change my voice, for I stand in doubt of you. Tell me, ye that desire to be under the law, do you not hear the law? For it is written that Abraham had 2 sons, the one by a bondmaid, and the other by a free woman. But he who was of the bondwoman was born after the flesh, but he that of the free woman was by promise, which things are an allegory. For these are the 2 covenants, the one from Mount Sinai, which genereth to bondage, which is Hagar. For this Hagar is Mount Sinai in Arabia, and answereth to Jerusalem which now is, and is in bondage with her children. But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all. For it is written, Sing, O barren, thou that didst not bear, break forth into singing and cry aloud, thou that didst not travail with child. For more are the children of the desolate than the children of the married wife. Now we, brethren, as Isaac was, are the children of promise. But as then he that was born after the flesh persecuted him that was born after the Spirit, even so it is now. Nevertheless, what saith the Scripture? Cast out the bondwoman and her son, for the son of the bondwoman shall not be heir with the son of the free woman. So then, brethren, we are not children of the bondwoman, but of the free woman. I just read Galatians, the 4th chapter.
I have an announcement before I call on our first speaker. We want to welcome our guest that has come out to study with us, Miss Elizabeth Whitman from Church Rock, New Mexico. It's Caroline's mother. Welcome. And please turn off all cell phones or put them on silent mode. And our speaker for this morning will be our Dean, Dr. Fred Allen Jr.
Good morning, everyone. To all the mothers that are here today, I want to wish you a happy Mother's Day and hope the best for the day and the future as well. I'm glad that Elizabeth Whitman was able to be with us today. That's very good. I have got something on my mind. Hopefully it would be beneficial for both new and old. I would going to ask, there's going to be some reading read to convey this, what I have on my mind to the congregation. So I'm going to ask that you try to bear with me. I'm going to try to deal with this, what I have on my mind, that everybody will be benefited from it. I'll tell you where I'm coming from so you know where I'm going to be going from, or going to. Read Galatians 4 and read the 25th, 26th verses, please.
Galatians 4 and
25, 26.
25 and 26. For this Hagar is Mount Sinai in Arabia, and answereth to Jerusalem, which now is, and is in bondage with her children. But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all.
Now, that's what I want to talk about. Well, we come to find out in this school we have a new mother we didn't know about before. I think we want to talk to you about her. Well, here my nose seems to want to run. But nevertheless, let's see if we can get into this here. I want to start off with 2 Corinthians 11th chapter, verse 1.
Second Corinthians 11 and 1.
Now, this is the way I feel. Okay, read.
Would the Elohim you could bear with me a little in my
I
folly?
would the Elohim that you could bear with me in my folly. Read on. I'm coming out of King James or whatever.
Yeah,
Just read what we got. That's good. It shouldn't be saying it shouldn't be that much difference.
And indeed bear with me, for I am jealous over you. With what?
Zealous.
To you.
Zealously? Yeah. Go ahead, pick it up.
Okay, 2 Corinthians 11 and 1. Would that ye could bear with me a little in my folly, and indeed ye do bear with me.
Okay, now, you've heard other ministers talk and preach, and you listened to them, and you gave ear to what they had to say. I'm asking you now to bear with me in my folly, what I want to talk to you about. Read on.
For I am zealous over you.
I am zealous over you.
With a zeal for Yahweh.
With a zeal for Yahweh. Read.
For I have espoused you to one husband.
Now, the idea of preaching the gospel is to espouse you to one husband. Not too many. There's only Yahshua is the true husband, or the world we call Jesus Christ. But the true husband is Yahshua. Now, the names we will be using these correct Hebrew names. The name of the Father is Yahweh. The name of the Son is Yahshua. The Son, let me have that read so everybody be on the same page. I'll come back to that chapter in a minute. Get the John 5, 35. 34. One more. I come in my Father's name.
Oh, yeah. 43. John 5 and 43. I am come in my Father's name.
Now, he says he's come in his Father's name. Now, we have been taught Jesus, Lord, and God, and you see that Jesus has no semblance or relationship to God or the Father as being a son or a brother or whatever. There's no relation to it. But you have here where the Hebrew name, we have Yahshua, is the name of the Son, Yahshua. He said he come in his Father's name. His Father's name is Yahweh. That was the name that Yahweh gave to Moses at the burning bush in the wilderness. As a quick, brief introduction to the names. we will be using these names throughout to our lecture today. But I want you to see that. And what I'm trying to declare to you is that we have been caused to be married to the Son Yahshua. And that Jerusalem above is the mother of us all. Now, hopefully I'll be able to prove that. Okay, read on there. Go back to Corinthians. 11th chapter, and I'll back you about the second, third verse, whatever you had.
Second verse. For I am zealous over you with a zeal for Yahweh. For I have espoused you to one husband.
I have espoused you to one husband. Now, the religious world, they will have you believe that what they believe is right, and that they are believing that you, by them saying they are Church of God, Church of Christ, the Jehovah's Witnesses, Baptists, whatever belief they have, they are then saying that they are making Yahshua, see, a whoremonger, having many wives. Because the church is supposed to be the bride of the Messiah. And what I'm trying to convey to you is that that's not true. There's only one husband, and the husband's name is Yahshua. And our goal is to cause you to be married to him and not to another. Okay, read on.
That I may present you as a chaste virgin to
At
the
end of
Messiah.
the whole thing, I want to present you as a chaste virgin. See? A virgin. Read on.
But I fear,
lest
by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve.
Now he went all the way back. Now this is how far back. He went all the way back to the serpent that beguiled Eve in the garden. Read.
Through his subtlety.
So
your mind should be corrupted from the simplicity.
That your mind might be corrupted through the simplicity.
That is in the Messiah.
So the gospel of the Messiah is simple. Mankind, or we ourselves, make it hard. It's not hard. It's what we've been taught, and the things we've been taught, we make it hard because we try to find a way to justify something, and we try to find a way to get around doing something we might want to do ourselves. So what we got to see is that what we're trying to convey to your mind is that the Messiah was on a mission for our benefit, for our good. And I'm trying to show you that by saying that, I want to see how that come about, what happened. It does require some history, so we'll be able to understand why the writers are saying what they're saying, and all that too, so you get a better picture, understand what we're talking about here. So continue reading, please.
Fourth verse. For if he that cometh preacheth another Messiah.
Now, if somebody comes teaching something different from what I have taught you in this congregation here, read.
Whom we have not preached.
Or
if ye receive another spirit.
And if you have received another spirit.
Which ye have not received.
Which we have not received.
Or another evangel.
Which
ye have not accepted.
Ye
might well bear with me.
Read on.
For I reckon I was not a whit behind the very chiefest apostles.
Now here's Apostle Paul. He's declared he was not a whit behind the chiefest of the apostles. Matter of fact, he really was actually more than they were actually in reality. But the point is that he was an apostle, made an apostle by Yahshua the Messiah on his way to Damascus. And he believed what Yahweh caused him to understand. And he became a fighter for the truth. And because of that, now he's able to them and telling the Galatians how he fears for them, If I had time to go back in the 3rd chapter, you find out why he's saying what he's saying. Because they have departed from what has been taught to them. Okay, read on.
But though I be rude in speech.
Yet
not in knowledge. But we have been thoroughly made. Manifest among you in all things.
I have not walked before you in secret, what I say to you in public, I do in the private. So I'm trying to lay the whole cards on the table so you'll be able to understand where I'm coming from. Okay, read on.
7th verse. Have I committed an offense in abasing myself that ye might be exalted? Because I have preached to you the gospel of Yahweh freely.
I have preached the gospel of Yahshua to you freely. In other words, I don't get paid. So you can't, somebody can, now what happens in these churches is, see, if somebody has some money, they pay the minister $2,000 or $3,000, then expected the minister to preach what he wants to hear. And therefore he's being bribed. See? But he said, I preach it to you freely. Read.
I robbed
I robbed other assemblies that I might gain some. In other words, when he went to preach in other churches or other organizations, if they paid him, he took the money and gave it to the poor, helped the poor out with it. See? So he robbed other churches that he might, how do you say it in the end there?
I robbed other assemblies, taking wages of them to do you service.
To do you service. Now, see, when ministers are invited or they come to a church or something and they speak, a lot of times they expect to be paid. See? And we had some that come to our class when we were out in L.A. that did do that. And Dr. Kennedy did pay some of them sometimes, some he didn't pay them. But they got to the point they knew they weren't going to get paid, so they didn't want to come around anymore, so they left, you know. And sometimes when they come in and say, you come into an organization, you got 200 or 300 people in the audience, you spend at least $200 or $300. So at least $1 for everybody in the room, at least, you know. So that's where they start calculating, see. And then you go give them $25, they feel insulted. See, so anyhow, you can see what's going on here. Okay, read on.
9th verse. And when I was present with you.
Now, when I was present with you.
And was in need.
And I was in need.
I was chargeable to no man.
I was charged to no man. Now, his profession was a tent maker. So he worked to build on tents. Read on.
For that which was lacking to me.
The
brethren which came from Macedonia.
The brethren which came from Macedonia.
Supplied.
They supplied. They come and visit. They gave him money, whatever he might have need of, so he wouldn't have to ask of that congregation any money. Okay, read on.
And in all things I have kept myself from being burdensome unto you, and so will I keep myself. As the truth of the Messiah is in me.
For as the truth of the Messiah is in me.
No man shall stop me of this boasting.
Now he says, no man shall stop me of this boasting.
In the regions of Arcadia.
Arcadia.
Wherefore? Because I love you not, Yahweh knoweth. But what I do, that I will do.
What I do, that I will do. Read.
That I may cut off association,
occasion
from them which desire occasion.
Which desire occasion. Somebody's trying to find some way to get at to get at him, at me or anything else. Trying to make a profit or misuse you or accuse you about something in public, whatever it might be. Read on.
That wherein they glory, they may be found even as we. For such are false apostles.
Now, he said, now for such are false apostles.
Deceitful workers.
Deceitful workers. Now, that means that you're going to have deceit. We're going to have people who are going to be corrupt. But now he's trying to tell you to watch out for them. Observe them. Be cautious. Be on guard from them. Read on.
Transforming themselves into the apostles of the Messiah.
Into the apostles of the Messiah. Now, if you paid attention to events of the world, when Pope John, well, when the Pope changes, when a Pope dies or another Pope takes his place, they say they are the son. They say that they are crowned or they are made Pope as being the vicar of the Son of Man. Meaning that they're supposed to be in the place of the Messiah, and they're taking that trend as being the descendants of the apostles. And by taking that kind of stand, they are saying that to you and me that they are supposed to be gods represented on earth, and you're supposed to abide by their counsel, by their will. See? Okay, read on.
And no marvel,
And don't marvel at this.
for Satan transformeth
Now,
himself
he said, now for Satan will transform himself
into an angel of light.
unto an angel of light. So this is how slick and cunning they're going to come. They're going to come to where they're going to transform themselves as an angel of light. See? Okay, now, I said that because I want you to see that you got opposition that's opposing the truth. They're going to come in and try to do that. As you read up there earlier about how don't let anybody come teach you anything different than what has been taught. That's something we all need to take ear to and listen to and then abide by. Because it's prominently happening in the world today. And right within this organization we are now affiliated with. Okay? Now, having said that, now, what's all this about? What's all this preaching about? What's all this coming together and all this type of thing? See? It's apparent. Let me preface this by saying this. We had a student in our class years ago, and many of you know her, Alice Sandoval. Alice Sandoval. And she called me last night, and I guess we talked about 35, 40 minutes. Well, she talked with, I should say that one. Because she wouldn't listen to what I was saying too much, so I just shouldn't let her talk. But she's trying to say that the religious world is wrong, which I agree with that. But the things she's saying about it, so many things she's got all conjured up in her mind that she thinks right, which is so far from truth, is said. But she wouldn't listen to what's being said, see. Now, she's trying to think about things that's yet to happen, which they already have happened. And because of that, then they're trying, she's still expecting the kingdom of God being set upon earth where there be no fighting, no war, and all that type of thing, all that's going to exist, all that's going to be done away with. So I told him, what you're talking about, what the scripture you're talking about, has already happened. You're way behind time on the thing, you know, so I let her go and let her ramble on and talk about what she had said. I was just trying to find where she's at on something. She comes back go back in a lot of scriptures, back in the Old Testament, but she doesn't know how to apply it. And because of that, she's got things all messed up. Now, those type of things and that's what's happening more and more today is people trying to wrestle the scripture to their advantage, to their use, to try to get somebody to be subject to them or be, just to be subject to them or be subject to them. Okay?
Listen to them.
So now,
Listen.
what I want to do now is try to get into what this Messiah was all about, what the man was about, and what good he is for you. And what we got to do, we got to go all the way back. See, and I want to do it this way. Oh boy, there's several ways we go about this. Let's go to Galatians, the 3rd chapter. Pick it up around the how about the 8, 9 verse, somewhere around there, and just come down real quickly. We're going to try to come down. I want you to see what's happening here. I got to do some explaining, but I want to try to stay in the book as much as I can so you can see where I'm coming from. Okay, read on.
Galatians 3 and 7.
Mm-hmm.
Know ye therefore that they which are of faith, the same are the children of Abraham.
Now, that's a good place to start. See? Now, we talk about the faith of Abraham. We're going to read more, we're going to find out more about it, but I want you to see, this is where it's going to start. We have mankind existing before Abraham. And we go all the way back. This here is a timeline that we have.
Sure.
That you look at, the chronology of dispensation of ages. And from the fall of Adam down to the flood, man's conscience was their guide or their rule. Either being obedient or disobedient in the eyesight of Yahweh. The flood came in because mankind became corrupt and disobedient, and Yahweh caused the flood to come upon the earth and destroy the world that then was, and then brought over to this age here. So 478 years, somewhere around that time, you find that Yahweh called a man Abraham. Now, Abraham was a man of faith. Yahweh required, the first thing he told him when he appeared to him, get away from your family. Separate yourself. See? Separate yourself. And I will take you to a land that I will show you. So now, and then he made a promise to him. That's I'm going to have to have this record. I want everybody to be on the same page. Everybody don't know this. A lot of people might have known about it. They might have heard about it. They don't remember it. So all these type of things are possible, and I realize that. But if I stay in the book long enough, you ought to see that what I'm saying is in the book, and I hope to explain it so you'll be able to appreciate how it relates to you and me. Okay, read on now. This is the Genesis of, I have to tell you what to read. Genesis 12 and 3.
12 and 1, 3.
And I want you to be aware that this promise that he made is binding upon everything. It affects you and me, this promise he made to Abraham. See? Okay, read.
Genesis 12 and 3.
Take it from 1. That's okay.
1.
Take it from 1.
Sorry.
Now Yahweh had said unto Abram, Get thee out of thy country,
Yahweh said to Abram, get thee out of thy country,
and from thy kindred,
and from thy country,
and from thy father's house, unto a land that I will show thee.
into a land that I will show thee.
And I will make of thee a great nation.
Now he said, I'm going to make of thee a great nation. Read.
And I will bless thee.
I will bless thee.
And make thy name great.
And make thy name great.
And thou shalt be a blessing.
Thou shalt be a blessing.
And I will bless them that bless thee.
I'm going to bless them that bless thee.
And curse him
And I
that
will
curseth
curse
thee.
I will curse them that curse thee. Read.
And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed.
Now he says that in him, or in his seed, or in his offspring, all the countries, all the world is going to be blessed. Okay? At this time, Abraham has no children. Okay? Read on. Read on. Read a bit more.
So Abram departed as Yahweh had spoken unto him.
Being obedient, he departed as he was spoken to the leave or Chaldeans. Okay. Now, Abraham by him not having any children yet, he was concerned about this promise. Because he didn't have any children. So you have him coming down to where he's married. I think it's in the last part of that 12th chapter where he leaves, or maybe in the 11th chapter. He leaves there with his wife and a nephew. And he goes into a land that Yahweh is going to show him. Then his wife was barren. Couldn't have children. So his wife decided to give her husband her bondswoman, which I believe was an Egyptian. And so she goes into Abraham and has a child by him. See? That's what we're going to talk about in the scripture today. We're going to get back to that in a minute. And because of that, you know, I remember we had a Red come down by a book, so we have some association with things, and it's trying to relate to it. I take a lot of time just going over things, but the book will come down the same thing I want to talk about. We're going to be reading what Paul says about it anyhow, so we might as well read it there and go back and forth that way. So in saying this, I'm just trying to convey so you can understand the story and how it affects you and me today is what I'm trying to get down to. See? How did you get married to him in the first place? And when I say married, I'm talking about both men and women. Humankind is married to Yahshua Messiah, or should be married to Yahshua Messiah. I should say it that way. Should be married to Yahshua Messiah. We're going to get to that in a minute, okay? Now, let's go back to the 3rd chapter of Galatians. Let's read it down, and we'll pick it up that way.
Galatians 3:7.
Mm-hmm.
Know ye therefore that they which are of faith, The same are the children of Abraham.
They that are of faith are as the children of Abraham. Because Abraham had faith in Yahweh, that anybody believes in Yahweh, then they become the children of Abraham. Okay, read on.
And the scripture.
In the scriptures,
Foreseeing that Yahweh would justify the heathen through faith.
The scriptures foreseeing that Yahweh would justify the heathen, read.
Through faith.
Through faith. Now, the heathen is referring to the Gentiles. Anybody that's not a Jew or an Israelite. See? They are considered the heathen, Gentiles. See? Yahweh's going to justify them through faith. Okay, read on.
Preached before the gospel unto Abraham.
So preach before the gospel unto Abraham.
Saying, in thee shall all nations be blessed.
In thee shall all nations be blessed. See? Now I want to verify that so everybody be on the same page that that's what's going to do. But we're dealing with the children of Israel, which are the offspring of Abraham. But we're also trying to convey, in that he dealt with Abraham and children of Israel, he also had not forgotten the Gentiles. But I'm trying to show how they come in. They come in by this promise he made to Abraham. Okay? Now, I'm going back and read some more scriptures to verify. Genesis 18:18. Genesis 21:18. 22:18, I believe it is. 22:18. And then I want to go to Genesis 24:4 and 28 and 18. Now I'm saying all this up because I want you to see what's going to happen. Because if you see how this promise is being made with the fathers, then you see how you're going to be blessed by it. Okay, read on.
Genesis 18:18. Seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him.
Should be blessed in him.
For I have known him.
For I have known him.
In order that he will command his children.
And he will command his children.
And his household after him. And they shall keep the way of Yahweh to do justice and judgment, in order that Yahweh may bring upon Abraham that which he had spoken of him.
In other words, he's going to bring it to pass where he spoke to Abraham, blessing all the families of the earth. Okay. Then I had 20. I think it's 22:18. I think.
Yeah, it's 22:18. It's 22:18.
What?
Yeah, that's right.
22:18.
Yeah.
22:18.
This is when Abraham was told to take his son and go offer him up. And after he went about and put him in, made an altar and put his son Isaac on the altar, and he was getting ready to slay him, the angel stayed his hand to keep him from doing. This is what the angel said after he stayed his hand. Okay, read.
22:18. And in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed.
No, in thy seed shall all the nations. Now look now, if you see here is Abraham, Yahweh says, Abraham, take your son, he did have by his wife Sarah, offer him up. He said, well, wait a minute now, I thought you're going to bless all the world by my seed, by his seed. Well, if I offer him up, then he has to count in his mind that Yahweh was able to raise him up. So when Yahweh told him to do it, he went 3 days' journey in his mind with his son dead, going to put him to death. And he goes up in the mountain and prepares to slay him, angel stayed his hand. Okay, read on now.
Because thou hast obeyed my voice.
Because thou hast obeyed my voice.
So Abraham returned to his young men.
Okay, that's good. Okay. I want to see that he did. He went and offered him up, but he offered him up, and when the angel stayed his hand, see, then he found behind him a ram caught in the thicket, and he offered that up in place of that. In saying that, you see in a principle here, Abraham, 3 days he's walking around with his son. He's going to put his son to death. Got ready to put him to death, and the angel stayed his hand. That means he was then resurrected on the 3rd day. So I'm setting up a type back here in Genesis where it talks about Abraham offered his son Isaac, but it was a type of Yahweh offered up his son Yahshua for our sins. And he's going to be crucified, he's going to be buried, the 3rd day he's going to raise from the dead. So you see the repeat. So now that was with Yahweh dealing with Abraham, confirming his covenant that he's going to bless all the families of earth through his seed, through his son. Then when Abraham's son Isaac, see, Yahweh had to confirm it with him. Genesis 24:4. Sometimes him verifying this promise that he kept with the father Abraham, his son Isaac, and his son Isaac's son Jacob. Got to be confirmed with all three of them. So that's why when you read in Paul's writings, when he said the promise of the fathers, the father Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So now it comes to pass when you see that he did make a promise to all three of them. Then what you should be looking for, when was that fulfilled? When it's fulfilled, then you see how you're benefited by it. Okay, could read on. Let's get these very quickly. Genesis 24 and 4, I believe it is, and 28 and 14, I believe it is.
26 and 14.
Huh?
26 and 4.
Yeah, 26 and 4. Okay, 26 and 4. Okay.
28 and 14.
Right.
Genesis 26 and 4. And I will make thy seed to multiply as the stars of heaven,
He's going to make his seed to multiply as the stars of heaven,
and will give unto thy seed all these countries,
and he'll give unto thy seed all these countries.
and in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed.
And in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed. So he showed that to Abraham, now his son Isaac. Now we go to Jacob, the 28th chapter, 14th verse.
Genesis 28:14.
Mm-hmm.
And thy seed shall be as the dust of the earth,
Thy seed shall be as the dust of the earth,
and thou shalt spread abroad to the west,
and thou shalt spread abroad to the west,
and to the east,
and to the east,
and to the north,
and to the north,
and to the south.
and to the south.
And in thee, and in thy seed shall all the famines of the earth be blessed.
All the families of the earth. So that means both Jew, Gentile, all mankind going to be blessed. That's why you should have all denominations, all kinds of nationalities in a congregation being married to Yahshua Messiah. Okay. Now go back to Galatians now again. See.
Galatians 3 and 8.
Mm-hmm.
And the scripture, foreseeing that Yahweh would justify the heathen through faith,
Mm-hmm.
preached before the gospel unto Abraham, saying, In thee shall all the nations be blessed.
Mm-hmm.
So then they which be of faith,
They which be of faith, or anybody that's of faith or that believes in the Messiah by faith, read.
are blessed with faithful Abraham.
They are blessed with faithful Abraham. Read.
For as many as are of the works of the law
For as many of the works of the law
are under the curse.
are under the curse. Now what you talking about? See, that's what we got to understand. This is what the world has missed out on. This law that Yahweh gave Israel when they delivered them out of the land of Egypt, brought them through the divided waters of the Red Sea, brought them into the wilderness. Yahweh then spoke the commandment down to Israel and gave them statutes and judgments for them to be obedient by and to walk thereby, that they might be attracted to the world. So this is now he's talking about the covenant he gave with Israel back here. Okay, read on.
For as many as are of the works of the law
For as many of the works, and now when you say the works of the law, that means the laws he gave them to clean, how they had to worship Yahweh at that particular time. And the things that he gave them to do, the Christian world today, they went back and tried to adopt those things and dress them up and present them to you as being the new covenant. That is an error, it's wrong. So now we're saying that what he did. Now, once you see what Paul says about this, read on down, let's get the rest of the story here.
are under the curse.
Are under the curse. So when you're doing all these works back here, you're under the curse.
For
You
it is-
don't know that when you're out there in the world being circumcised, having ceremonies, baptisms, suppers, see, sacrifices, Ten Commandments, all those things, that's under, if you're working and believing those things, you're cursed. You're disobeying in the eyesight of Yahweh. So you mean to tell me, the church told me I'm supposed to do this, and that's wrong? Yes, that's what I'm trying to tell you about. We're sent here to cause you to see that the Messiah's mission was to come in to fulfill that old covenant, do away with it, that he might bring in the usher in the spirit. And now you're supposed to worship Yahweh in spirit and in truth. That's what's supposed to happen now. But we got to go back here and see what happened, what Yahweh did with Israel, how he delivered them from it by the Messiah coming in and fulfilling the law, whereby you then can see that being done away with. Okay, read on now.
For it is written,
For it is written.
Cursed is everyone that continueth not in all the things are written in the book,
So if you didn't do the whole law, then you were cursed. Read on.
are written in the book of the law to do them.
Mm-hmm.
But that no man is justified by the law in the sight of Yahweh.
No man is justified by the law in the sight of Yahweh. Read.
It is evident,
It is evident.
for the just shall live by
The
faith.
just shall live by faith. Read on.
But the law is not of faith.
For the law is not of faith,
But the man that doeth
but the
them
man that doeth them
shall live in them.
shall live in them. Read on.
The Messiah hath redeemed us from the curse of the
Oh,
law.
now it says, now this is the Messiah's mission. He's redeemed us. He's delivered us from the curse of the law. See? So I mean you got to stop doing what was done in the old covenant. Now in the worship Him in spirit and in truth. Okay, read on.
Being made a curse for us.
Being made a curse for us.
For it is written, Cursed is everyone that hangeth on a tree,
Mm-hmm.
that the blessing of Abraham might come on the Gentiles
What
through
verse you at
Yahshua
now?
the Messiah. I'm at the 14th verse.
We'll skip on down to the 19th verse. Maybe take the 17th verse.
17.
Mm-hmm.
And this I say,
This I say,
that the covenant,
that the covenant
that which was confirmed before Yahweh and the Messiah,
was
the
confirmed
law,
Messiah in the Messiah
of the law,
of the law,
which was 430 years after.
now he's saying that the law that he gave Israel, see, was given after the promise he made to Abraham. See, read on.
And 30 years later, cannot disannul that it should make the promise of none effect.
So this law that was given to Israel after he made the promise to Abraham, it didn't make void the promise. See, it was added, but it was not made void. Okay, read on. He's going to tell you about it.
For if the inheritance be of the law,
For if the inheritance be of the law back here, by doing the things in this old covenant, read,
it is no more of promise.
there is no more promise.
But Yahweh gave it to Abraham by
But
promise.
Yahweh gave it to Abraham by promise.
Wherefore,
Wherefore,
then serveth the law.
question comes up, well, why did he give the law? If you see the promise that was made to Abraham was before the law, then why is the law given? Since the promise was before that, why did he give the law in the first place? Read on. That's what ask the question. Read.
It was added because of transgression.
It was added because of transgressions. When you go back here, when Yahweh told Adam in the garden, he said, Adam, of all the trees in the garden you may be free to eat. But the tree that's in the midst of the garden don't touch. The day you touch it, you surely die. So when Satan deceived his wife Eve, caused her to partake of the fruit of the tree, she died in her conscience, and she took and gave it to Adam, and he died in his conscience. So I mean they both died in their conscience. That was the death, was disobeying the commandment of Yahweh. Now that's come down and then the offspring that they had is come down with the same condemnation all the way down. So when the Messiah comes on the scene, he's coming in to rectify or to clean up that transgression, that disobedience. So that's why the Messiah is coming in after this had taken place. That's what Paul is writing about. So the law was added because of the transgressions. Read.
Until the seed should come to whom the promise was made.
Until the seed, to the seed should come, which was this is Abraham. I mean, Yahshua was the seed of Abraham. See? Okay, read on.
And it was ordained by angels
It was ordained by angels
in the hand of a mediator.
in the hand of a mediator.
Now a mediator is not a mediator of one, but Yahweh is
So
one.
Yahweh was the one, the mediator, gave the law to him back there. So he was one. Read.
Is the law then against the promises of
Then he said, now,
Yahweh?
is the law then, is it against the promise that he made to Abraham? Read.
Yahweh forbid.
Yahweh forbid.
For if there had been a law given,
For if there had been a law given,
would have given life,
which would have given life,
verily,
verily,
righteousness should have been by the law.
then righteousness would have been by the law. See? Okay. Let's skip on down. By the time I'm going to get to this other part now. Go down to the 4th chapter. And, I think it's 21, 23, somewhere right where he's talking about Abraham. He's going back to
22.
Abraham. And they're talking about, I think it's 21, or was it 16?
Well, it's 22.
22, that's fine.
Mhm.
22.
Yeah, 21. Tell me, ye that desire to be under the law.
Now he's asking a question to the Jew, the Israel who he talking to. Well, no, he's talking to the Gentiles who he's talking to. He's writing a letter to Jews in charge of Gentiles. I'm trying to get it clarified so we understand what we're talking about. And he had been there and preached to them. He departed and left. While he's gone, they had went back to try to keep the law that Israel was given back here. And now he's scolding them about it, telling them that they should not have departed from that. See, that's what he's doing. See, okay, now read on.
Tell me,
Ye
that desire to be under the law,
if you desire to be under the law,
do you not hear the law?
Do you not hear the law? Do you not obey the law? Read.
For it is written
that
Abraham had 2 sons,
Abraham had 2 sons.
the one by a bondmaid,
One by a bondmaid,
the other by a free woman.
one by a free woman. Read on.
But he who was of the bondwoman was born after the flesh.
So now he sets up this type now. You got one born after the flesh, and one born by the will or by the promise. Okay, read on.
But he of the free woman
was
by promise.
Was by promise. So now that means he had 2 sons. One son was by bondage. One son was by free. See? Okay, now read on.
Which things are an allegory.
Now I said this is an allegory. In other words, he's using these 2 women and their offspring as an allegory in relation to the law and the promise. Okay, read on.
For these, which things are an allegory.
Mm-hmm.
For these are the 2 covenants.
For these are the 2 covenants. See? Read.
The one from Mount Sinai.
The one from Mount Sinai.
Which genereth to bondage.
Which genereth to bondage.
Which is Hagar.
Which is Hagar. Let's see Hagar. Read on.
For this Hagar is Mount Sinai.
When they said this Hagar is Mount Sinai.
In Arabia.
In Arabia. That's where the law was given to Israel back then. Read.
And answereth to Jerusalem, which now is.
It answers to Jerusalem, which now is. Read.
And is in bondage with her children.
And is in bondage to her children. Now he's talking about Israel now. Okay. Even to today, they're still bondage to the children. They're still bondage to the law.
That's right.
They're still trying to keep this law, and they're still trying to hold on to this thing that was given to Israel back here. They're still bondage to this, the law, the old covenant given to Mount Sinai or Hagar. Okay, read on.
But Jerusalem,
now Jerusalem,
which is above,
is
free, which is the mother of us all.
Which is the mother of us all. See? So now we find out that Jerusalem above is the mother of us all. So now we got a Jerusalem beneath, we got a Jerusalem above.
Right.
See, the one beneath is the natural physical, the natural Jew. They're still subject of trying to keep this law given to Moses. The law of the Spirit is above. Okay? Now, let's look at how Yahweh deal with this now. He gave this law to Israel. At that time, Israel was a united kingdom, a united kingdom of people. Then when they went across the river Jordan and went into Canaan, they became corrupt. Then Yahweh divided Israel to Judah and Israel. Got 2 different nations, okay? So now here's Yahweh then, after seeing how badly they behaved in this old covenant, he makes a new covenant with them. Jeremiah 31:31.
Jeremiah 31:31. Behold, the days come, saith Yahweh.
Now this is Yahweh speaking to Jeremiah. So behold the day. Oh, it's so much in this. I don't have time to cover all of it, but we got to move on. But I'm trying to convey this thing so we can see that there's two nations, 2 different people. Then then Israel, they became divided. But we got to deal with them first, and then we got to then deal with the Gentiles. Okay, read on.
That I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel.
Now Yahweh is saying through Jeremiah, he's going to make a new covenant with Israel. The one he gave the law back here. Israel and what?
And with the house of Judah.
And the house of Judah. So Israel is divided now in Israel and Judah. Israel, they made their headquarters what they call the northern country. Israel was in the southern country. Okay, so you got to deal with this, where they divide. You see, okay, read on.
Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers.
It won't be like this covenant I gave to their fathers back here.
In the day that I took them by the hand.
In the day that I took them by the hand.
To bring them out of the land of Egypt.
To bring them out of the land of Egypt.
Which my covenant they break.
Which my covenant that he gave Israel back here, they broke.
Although I was a husband unto them.
Although I was a husband unto them.
Saith Yahweh.
Said Yahweh. he said he was a husband to them. Well, when did they get married? See? Now you know. See? When did they get married? Well, when they got out here in the wilderness here, when Yahweh spoke the law down to Israel, and Israel said, all that Yahweh said what we do, that's when they were married to Yahweh. See? Now they were married to him. Let me verify it. Jeremiah 3:14.
Jeremiah 3:14.
Mm-hmm.
Turn, O backsliding Israel,
Here we
children.
go up further, you find out what made them backslide. They departed and went to worshiping idols and did everything that Yahweh said not to do up there, and they did. So turn, O backsliding
Children,
children,
saith Yahweh,
said Yahweh.
for I am married unto you,
For I am married unto you.
and I will take you of the city,
I will take you of a city
and two of a family,
and two of a family,
and I will bring you to Zion.
and will bring you to Zion. Okay? Now, he's talking about what he's going to do, see, with them.
Married.
And he's showing, I'm trying to show he's married to him.
Right.
So this Yahweh, now this is what you got to watch what happens now. This Yahshua, well, let me say it this way. See, this Yahweh, see, took on shape and form as Yahweh Elohim. Now, when it came time for him to come into the world, he's coming in to be born of a woman. See, I think you're back there in Galatians 4 and 3, 4 and 4, born of a woman, born under the law to redeem. I'm going to get back and get that verified.
Galatians 4:4.
Mm-hmm.
But when the fullness of time was come,
Now see, here they're under the law back here, see, and they were under that law for 1,500 years, and then when the fullness of time was come,
Yahweh sent forth his Son,
Yahweh sent forth his Son. So Yahweh sent forth his Son.
made of a woman,
Then he was coming in the world as a baby, coming in the world as made of a woman.
made under the law,
Now that means that was under the law, so he was still under this old covenant back here. He was still under that old covenant. Read.
to redeem them or that were under the law.
The mission was to redeem them for which were under the law. In other words, he's coming in to deliver them from this law he gave back here, to take that law out of the way. Read on.
That we might receive the adoption of sons.
That we might receive the adoption of sons. So now we're going to be adopted. See? Into the body of the Messiah. See? Okay, read on.
In Galatians. In Galatians?
Yeah,
Keep
yeah.
going.
A little bit more.
And because ye are sons,
Because you are sons,
Yahweh has sent forth the Spirit of his Son
then Yahweh sent forth his spirit of his Son, of Yahshua now,
into your hearts.
into your hearts. And that's what happened on the day of Pentecost. See, he sent forth his Son in their hearts and minds, that spirit of Yahshua in their hearts and minds, read.
Crying, Abba,
Calling
Father.
Abba, Father. Okay? Now, let's see if we can get this. I'm trying to get the story so you can see how you got married to him. See? Why did you get married to him? See? We're saying that this Yahweh, they spoke the law to Israel, and Israel agreed to keep it, that they were married to each other. See? Now this spirit took on or came on into a physical body, see? And that was Yahweh in a body. Talking about the Savior, we're talking about Yahshua. So Yahshua is the Father in physical shape and form. And that's him walking around an airplane, fulfilling that law, but moving this law out of the way. See? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Romans 7th chapter, verse 1. Huh? No, I won't deal with that. I don't have to have that for this. See? So I'm trying to show you, I'm trying to first find who you're married to first.
Mm-hmm.
How you get married to him. Then after I find out how you're married, then you see, then you know who your mother is. And then you should be obedient to him. See? See? Why did I say that? Yahweh, when he spoke the law down to Israel, see, in the commandments he gave to Israel, 20th chapter of Exodus, he says, children, see, obey your parents, your father and your mother. But if you know who your parents are, how you going to obey them? See, that's what I'm trying to get down to. I'm trying to get you down to show you who you're married to, who your mother is, see, and how you should be married, how you should then give glory to her, or understand who she is and how she applies. So your mother, see, well, let's do it this person, we'll get it verified first.
Romans 7:1.
Mm-hmm.
Know ye not, brethren?
Now he says, now here's Paul writing to the Romans. He said, know ye not, brethren.
For I spake to them that know the law.
Now, if you didn't know the law, you don't have no idea what he's talking about. Because he said, I'm addressing to them that know the law. The law that was given from Mount Sinai, that's what he's talking about. I speak to them that know the law. Well, what about the law? Read.
How that the law have dominion over a man as long as he liveth.
How that the law had dominion over a man as long as he liveth. Read.
For the woman which hath a husband
For the woman which has a husband
is bound by the law to
is
her
bound by the
husband,
law to her husband
as so as long as he liveth.
as long as he liveth. Now let's get the story so we understand what we're talking about. Here's Yahweh that made the promise to Abraham and Israel believed in it. Now he's manifesting this body, Yahshua Messiah. So now that's Yahweh in a body, and he's married to Israel. So but all the Israelites, he's married to them. See? So as long as he's alive, they're married to him. Okay? So now if he dies, then that means that she's then free to marry somebody else. Okay, let's read on down and see what he says.
So then while her husband liveth,
So then while her husband liveth,
she be married to another
now she
man,
went and married somebody else,
she shall be called an adulteress.
she will be called an adulteress. Now if I go back in Jeremiah and Isaiah, you find out Israel was a very adulterous wife. See? Let me put a peg on that one. See? Hosea 1 and 2, and then they go down to 6 and 7. And this is Yahweh calling Hosea. He's calling Hosea. This is where he's approaching Hosea. Okay, read on. I don't have time to get the chapter. The verse 4 tells you more about detail, but I don't need that right now. Read on.
You want
Just the
one,
second
two?
verse.
Oh,
Second verse, and then this.
Hosea, first chapter, second verse.
Mm-hmm.
The beginning of the word of Yahweh by Hosea.
The beginning of the word of Yahweh by Hosea. Read.
Yahweh said unto Hosea,
Yahweh said unto Hosea,
Go, take unto thee a wife of whoredoms and children of whoredoms.
Now here's Yahweh telling him to go marry a woman of whoredom. See? Well, why are you doing that for? Read on.
For the land hath committed great whoredom.
Now he's talking about the land, or talking about the people of Israel in the land. They have created great whoredoms. Read on.
A departing from Yahweh.
Departing from Yahweh. See, you're supposed to be married to him. See? But you departed from him. Read.
So he went and took Gomer, the daughter of...
They talking about who he married. He had 2 children by. Okay, they're going down to about the 6 verse, 7 verse. Read on that.
And she conceived again and bare a daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And Yahweh said unto him, Call her name... Oh no.
Go ahead.
Lo-ruhamah. For I will no more have mercy upon the house of Israel,
Mm-hmm.
for I utterly take them away.
Mm-hmm.
But I will have mercy upon the house of Judah,
I will have mercy on the house of Judah.
and will save them by Yahweh, their Elohim,
Uh-huh.
and will not save them by bow, nor by bow, nor by sword, nor by battle, by horses and by horsemen.
Mm-hmm. Okay. 2, 7.
Do you want something else down
Yeah,
there?
it was something, I thought it was something.
You get the
down there.
number of the children?
No, it was about how corrupt they were. Well, the main thing was showing that he had told his prophet to marry a whore because the people were in the land would play a whoredom to him. That's what that was Yahweh. They went worship other gods.
For the land hath committed great whoredom.
Second chapter.
Two. Come now. 2.
Started 1 and just read.
2:1. Okay.
2:1.
Yeah.
Say unto your brethren, Ami, and to your sisters, Rumaha, plead with your mother, plead, for she is not my wife, neither am I her husband. Let her therefore put away her whoredoms out of her sight, and her adulteries from between her breasts, lest I strip her naked, and set her as in the day that she was born, and make her as wilderness, and set her like a dry land, and slay her with thirst. I will not have mercy upon the children, for they will
Go
be
down to the 13th verse and 14th verse down further. I went down where I think he tells about being
you went there.
Hosea, being called not.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's 12, 13, 14.
Where what now?
Where he's, we call it Isha. Is that 14?
Oh.
2:16.
2:16.
That's what I'm going down to 14 and read down. I think 14 read down. 15.
14, okay.
15.
14, this is Hosea 2:14. Therefore, behold, I will allure her, and bring her unto the wilderness, and speak comfortably unto her.
Mm-hmm.
And I will give her vineyards from thence, and the valley of Achor from a door of hope. And she shall sing there as in the days of her youth, and as in the day that she came up out of the land of Egypt.
You're talking about when Israel came about the land of Egypt, she sang song of victory, and she was going to sing again. Read on.
And it shall come, and it shall be in that day,
Shall be in that day,
saith Yahweh, that thou shalt call me Ishai,
thou shalt call me Ishai,
and shalt call me no more Bali.
Call me no Bela. Now you got in the margin translation, it has your definition of the meaning of Ishai and Bela.
It does.
Okay, good. Let's read it again with the correction.
And it shall come, and shall be in that day, says the Lord, that thou shalt call me
My husband,
and shall call me no more Lord, or my Lord.
Abel, which means, or Baal of God. See?
Which means
Lord, which means Lord. Yeah, okay. So now he's going to take that out of their mouth, so they won't call him that way anymore. So it means there's supposed to be a definite change from the way they were worshiping, the way how corrupt they came up in the land of Canaan. There's going to be a change to it. So now I'm trying to get down to here comes the Messiah. He's coming in, and now we'll be back over in Romans, the 7th chapter, and we'll find out what happened now with Israel now.
Over here.
What?
So then that 16th verse, he's prophesying that you shall call me my husband. So
Just what
they're going to refer to
Yahweh as a husband, right?
and no more
No more
They
Baal.
were going after, because they had committed whoredoms, because they weren't going after Yahweh, now they were going after Baal.
Baal or other gods in Canaan, right?
So they were committing
They were being
spiritual
disobedient. They would be
adultery.
right. That's right.
Spiritual adultery.
Exactly right. That's what I'm trying to convey. I'm trying to show that Israel or the people back there, they were corrupt. And bringing up to date, we were the same thing until Yahweh delivers us out of it, out of the corruption. See, and the world has just gone back and tried to do the things in the old covenant and become really profane in it, blaspheming Yahweh all the way around. See, but the things they're saying and doing today. See. So now I'm trying to see now you're supposed to be married to Yahshua's side, and I'm trying now here in Paul's letter to the Romans. In this here book, he's showing how you did get married to her. That's what I'm trying to get to now. How you got married to her. When I say how we got married, we already showed how Israel got married. See, Israel got married because of the commandment Yahweh made a covenant with them. But how did the Gentiles get married to her? See, okay, read on.
Romans 7 and...
Is it 7, 1, 2, 3? Where are you?
You want me to read it again?
Or what read down where you have left off at.
Okay. 4,
3? I think it's 3.
Yeah, 3.
Third verse. So then if, while her husband liveth,
she
be married to another man.
be married to another man. So as long as Yahshua was walking around, he was alive, there was Yahweh in that body, and he was married to Israel. Okay, read.
She shall be called an adulteress.
She should be called an adulteress. If she married somebody else or go marry somebody else, she would be an adulteress as long as he liveth. Read.
But if her husband be dead,
But now if her husband, if he dies,
she is free from that law.
then she's free from that law,
So that she is no
so
adulteress.
that she's no more an adulteress.
though she be married to another man.
Though she be married to another man. See? Okay, so when the Messiah died, then that made Israel free to marry anybody. See? But read on, see what he says about it.
Wherefore, my brethren, ye also are become dead to the law by the body of the Messiah.
So when the Messiah was crucified, then you become dead to the law that Yahweh gave Israel. You become dead to that, read.
That ye should be married to another.
That you should then be married to another.
Even to him who is raised from the dead.
To him that is raised from the dead.
That we should bring forth fruit unto Yahweh.
That we should then bring forth fruit unto Yahweh. So now what happens is that he died, he was buried, raised the third day. When he raised the third day, he tarried on earth for 40 days, ascended to the Father. Then when he pours out his spirit in the hearts and mind of man, now that puts his spirit in them, that made them married to Yahweh through the Spirit. See? That's how he got married to him. Now that relates to Jerusalem above.
So he didn't raise from the dead a physical man.
No, he didn't. He raised the Spirit, right.
He died on the
Right. See, they're still thinking he rose physically. He didn't raise physical. See? They still want him to come back down on earth and set up a kingdom and go rule everybody. Everybody's going to be at peace and there'll be no wars and all that. That's what they're looking for. See? If you understand, this is Satan's world. He was cast down from heaven. Well, what went on in heaven? There was a war in heaven. So if he's cast down in the earthplane, you then should expect to be wars in the earthplane. See? And as long as this earthplane exists, you're going to have that. So that's why he said he's going to make a new heaven and a new earth. When he makes a new heaven and a new earth, then you're going to see that you're going to have peace, because then you're going to be in the body of the Messiah, and therefore you will be at peace then. See? So we're seeing that. So I'm trying to show now that we're seeing that we are married now to him that's raised from the dead. Talking about the Holy Spirit now. Spirit in you, that spirit has come in your heart and mind, you then should be married to Yahshua, to Yahshua Messiah, and thereby walk by thereby. See? So now, we see that we'll come that way now. Okay, we read Romans. Now back in Jeremiah, back in Galatians, Galatians. I think you're about 25th, 26th verse.
Right. 24, 23. But he, as of the bondwoman, was born after the flesh.
Was born after the flesh, read.
This is Galatians 4:23. But he that was born of the bondwoman was born after the flesh. But he of the free woman was by promise.
Right.
Was by promise.
Was by promise.
Which things are an allegory.
Which now you say they are allegory. So we got one is after the flesh, which was after this old covenant, and then one was born free. She was not in bondage to the law. See, so we've got the two women are playing, one's bondage and one's free. Messiah came in to take away the bondage and tell you to be married to one that's free, or be free from the law. Okay, read on.
For these are the two covenants.
For these are the two covenants.
The one from Mount Sinai.
The one from Mount Sinai.
Was generous to bondage.
Was generous to bondage.
Which is Hagar.
Which is Hagar.
For this Hagar is Mount Sinai in Arabia.
For this Hagar is Mount Sinai in Arabia.
And answers Jerusalem, which now is.
It was answers to Jerusalem, which now is.
And is in bondage with her children.
Now he's describing that Israel is still bondage to her, to the law. See, which was given from Mount Sinai. They're still in bondage to it, therefore they're missing the true, who you should be truly married to, I should say it that way. Okay, read on.
But Jerusalem, which is above, is free.
For Jerusalem, which is above, is free.
Which is the mother of us all.
Which is the mother of us all.
For it is written.
For it is written.
Rejoice, thou, O barren.
Rejoice, thou, O barren.
That bearest not.
That bearest not. Was it Isaiah 41 and 1? Or was it 54 and 4? I forget one or two.
54 and 1.
54 and 1, okay. Okay, now. Okay. Who's barren?
Who's what?
Who's barren? See, I'm trying to. This is a prophecy that's going forth. See, which is we're dealing with now. We're dealing with. Remember, we're dealing with the Gentiles and was dealing with the Israel. See? Now, the barren, they're not married. They're not even married.
Jerusalem.
I'm talking about the
beneath.
Gentiles. They're not married to the Messiah. They're not married. See? So they're talking about the barren. Now, read it again now, please.
For it is written,
For it is written,
Rejoice, thou barren,
thou bearest,
that bearest not.
that bearest not.
Break forth and cry,
Bring forth and cry. Talking about the Gentiles, read.
thou that travailest not.
Thou that travailest not and have no children, read.
For the desolate hath many more children
Now, so the desert has many more children. Talking about the Gentiles have more children, read.
than she which hath a
But
husband.
she had a husband. Talking about Israel that had a husband, read.
But we, brethren,
But we, brother,
as Isaac was,
as Isaac was,
are the children of promise.
we are the, now we become the children of promise by faith. So we become the children of promise by faith. Read. George, you got a question? What?
Yeah, about the bears, that 27, the bears. Aren't they talking about the Jerusalem beneath is what they're
Well,
talking
they're still Gentiles. It also is
The Jews and Gentiles.
The Jews and Gentiles.
Right?
I'm just using the Gentiles really because we're trying to show the contrast.
Okay. Sorry.
Deal with the Gentiles, right? Read. Talking about the old covenant back here. That's part of they're barren. They're not having offspring. See, the ones that bear. See, that's why he said when you receive the Spirit of the Messiah on the day of Pentecost, they're supposed to be fruitful now. See, now you're supposed to be fruitful in the Spirit because now you're married to Yahshua in the Spirit. Now you're supposed to be through the preaching of God. Then they're going to be have more offspring. See, read on.
Now we, brethren,
As
Isaac was,
Isaac
are the
was,
children of promise.
we are then the children of promise. Read.
But as then he that was born after the flesh
Mhm.
persecuted him that was born after the Spirit.
Persecuted him that was born out of the Spirit.
Even so it is now.
Even so is it now. See, now when Abraham's first wife, Abraham's
Bondman.
bondwoman, after she had given birth, see, what's the word we use? Ridiculed, or let me go back to Genesis 21:9, I think it is, 21:9. So you see where she was mocking him. Mocking him is what we're mocking.
Genesis
21:9, I believe it is.
21:8.
Mm-hmm.
And the child grew and was weaned, and Abraham made a great feast the day that Isaac was weaned.
Mm-hmm.
And Sarah saw the son of Hagar, the Egyptian, which had
Now Sarah saw the son of Hagar,
the
the
Egyptian,
Egyptian,
which she had born unto Abraham,
Mhm. mocking.
Wherefore she
Wherefore?
said unto Abraham,
He said unto Abraham,
Cast out this bondwoman
cast out this bondwoman
and her son,
and her son.
for the son of this bondwoman shall not be heir with my son Isaac.
Mm-hmm. God goes in and confirms it for him to do that, cast the woman out. See, so I'm trying to show you now that, huh? Carrying out the purpose is just being portrayed in types and shadows back here, or allegories. When you see what's happening back here, you have a better appreciation of what's going on here. So Yahweh is causing Israel, or back here is showing a separation from
Spirit and flesh.
the summation of spirit and flesh, or old covenant, new covenant. That's really what you got. See? And if you follow that close enough, you'll see why we got the problem we have today, because people are still trying to hang on to the old covenant, the natural things, and they should be letting them go and accepting the Messiah, which is in the spirit of the thing. See, we're supposed to worship in the spirit and in truth now. See? Now, Jerusalem above, New Jerusalem, see? Revelations 21, and read 1 to 4. And then go give me Hebrews 12 and begin with 18.
Revelations 21:1. And I saw a new heaven. 21:1.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I saw a new heaven.
This John on the Isle of Patmos, he's there to confirm what Moses wrote. So I saw
a new
a
heaven
new heaven
and a new earth.
and a new earth.
For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away.
So now John is looking back here and seeing Israel come through the divided waters of the Red Sea, going into the wilderness. So he said he saw a new heaven when they went into the wilderness. That was a new heaven, and the first earth was passed away.
Mm-hmm. And there was no more sea.
There was no more sea, so they were past the sea. They're out here in the wilderness. Read.
And I, John,
John,
saw the holy city,
I saw the holy city.
New Jerusalem,
Now he said the holy city, New Jerusalem. Well, what's he seeing? See, read on.
coming down from Yahweh,
Coming down from Yahweh.
out of heaven,
Out of heaven.
prepared as a bride adorned for her husband.
So when Moses up here in this mountain here, Yahweh appeared to him and showed him how to make this here tabernacle. That was in Moses' mind when he comes down out of the mountain. So that's the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven. See, read.
And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying,
They said, I heard a great voice out of heaven saying.
Behold, the tabernacle of Yahweh is with men.
So when they reared this tabernacle up, and then he would say, Behold, the tabernacle of Yahweh is with man. So now that's the tabernacle represents Jerusalem, New Jerusalem. I'll say it that way. See? Now here you and I, we have come to accept the pattern of Yahweh, which is that tabernacle, whereby we use and understand how Yahweh using types and shadows to convey to us how we should now understand what the Messiah's mission was. Because we go back and see this tabernacle being a type and being a figure of the Messiah. See? So the Messiah's got to come in, fulfill this old covenant, and when you and I come and embrace the knowledge of the truth, then that's going to cause us to be free or set free by that, see? So now we'll see when the Messiah comes in. Now, here's this here tabernacle pattern. Now it was shown to Moses on top of Mount Sinai, and he came down and had Israel to build it and rear it up. See? Now, when the Messiah comes in, he said he's coming in to fulfill. What are you fulfilling? See? So when he goes into his ministry, you find he says a lot of things, and people still do not understand why he said what he said and did what he did. But when you understand why he's saying what he's saying, then you're able to appreciate his mission and what he did. See? So this is what he said, okay. In the 6th chapter of John, he says, I am the bread of life. I'm the bread. See? Now, they missed that because they took it literally what he was saying, that they were supposed to eat him. No, that's not what he's talking about. See? Trying to just eat in the spirit of the thing. See? So he said, I'm the bread. See, in the tabernacle, so we got in the tabernacle, we got a table of shewbread. And the children, the high priest had to eat of this table of shewbread every day. But now for the Messiah to come on, he said, now I am the bread that came down from heaven. But somebody said, wait a minute, no, that's not true. We know you Mary and Joseph was your father, so mother, so how you talking about you come down from heaven? He told the disciples, when you see me go up in the heavens, you know that's where I came from. I'll say it in short words that way. See? If you see me going up, then you know that's where I came from. Right. Well, they did see him go up, so then they know that's where he came from. I'm the bread which came down from heaven. So you fathers didn't eat better in the world, but they all did. But I give you this bread which came down from heaven, then you shall live forever. So when you accept the bread of the Messiah, you are partaking of the body of the Messiah. You're taking of the spirit of the Messiah. And that is what setting you apart from the world. So that becomes it. Then he said, now, I think in the 8th chapter, he said, I am the light of the world. So now if he's the light of the world, then you're going to be able to see that everything he's saying and doing is going to be confirmed that this here tabernacle is him. I'll say it in short, is him. So he said, I am the light of the world. So he said, I will pray the Father for you. See, you used to go all the way down. You see, he's coming all the way through. Now, you'll see him talking about, he just said, I'm the sacrifice for you. He didn't use those terms. See, when John baptized him in the river Jordan, John there bore record and said, behold, the Lamb of Yahweh take away the sins of the world. So that made him a lamb, and the lamb had to be offered up on the altar. So him being offered up, being crucified, that's his death. See, we went when he went to the grave, that's a burial. See, when he raised from the dead, then he's ascended unto the Father. So now we see this tabernacle is blood, water, spirit, blood, water, spirit. When the Messiah comes in, he's got to be crucified. See, this altar had 4 horns on it. Put blood on the 4 horns of the altar, draw a line across it, you got a cross. So you see why he has to be crucified on the cross. See, go back, you see, he goes to John to be baptized in water. Why? Because there's a labor right here that had to be washed. The sacrifice has to be washed in the lake. See, so you got to see, he's got to fulfill all the things. See, the high priest was anointed with holy anointing on. So when you baptized John in the river, a cloud descended. And when that cloud descended on him, John said, he heard a voice from heaven and said, "This is my beloved Son, in whom I will please." You're seeing how this here tabernacle is the Messiah, or the Messiah. See, I'll say that he is the Messiah when you able to see the association between the two of them.
Allegory.
So you see why it's important. So now when you come, see, now you become married to him. See, I'm talking about in the spirit. I'm not talking about from a physical standpoint, but in the spirit. See, and that being married to him, then sets you free from that bondage that you had back in trying to do all these things. See, you look, folks, you go to church, the church says you got to join the church. See, now that should be a first clue that is wrong. See, now we're talking about being born of the family of Yahweh. How did you get into your family? Did you join it?
No.
You were born in it. So then you see that you got to be born. That's why the Messiah told Nicodemus, you must be born again. You got to be born from above.
Mm-hmm.
See, so we've been born from a natural from beneath. Now we got to be born from above. Now, if from a physical birth, you have to see that this child, see, is in the mother's womb, see, for 9 lunar months. See, she's in there, and when the child's ready to come forth, you got to see she'll show her blood. You have to see with the water break, you got to break. You have the water break. Then the show of blood. See, and then you take the baby and cause the baby to breathe. Then she takes the breath of life. So you got blood, water, spirit in a physical birth. That then pointed to a spiritual birth. So we have to see the same thing. That's why Yahweh has kept on showing these here signs over and over again, with the hope that you and I will see it and then believe in His Son. So that's what the whole thing's about. See, 1 John 1, 1 John 5 and 7. See, let's get that. So you see where we're coming from on that. See, now I covered a lot of ground, but the point I'm trying to get you to see is that we're now married to Jerusalem above, and being married to Jerusalem above, you then are free. You're born free. If Isaac or Sarah represents a free woman, and you are supposed to be of that, then you're supposed to be born of a free woman. So that means you should be then set free. Now, keeping these things back under the old covenant, the baptism, the Lord's Supper, and all, see, that puts you in bondage. We're supposed to be free from that now. And that's what we should be expecting, or should be seeing when we come to class. See, that we are set free by the blood of the Messiah. See? So here we are here, and here's John writing it. 1 John 5 and 7.
1 John 5 and 7.
Mm-hmm.
For there are 3 that bear record in heaven.
Now he says there's 3 that bear record in heaven. Here we are on this chart here. There's 3 that bear record in heaven.
The Father,
the
Word,
Word,
and the Holy Spirit.
and the Holy Spirit.
And these 3 are one.
And these 3 are one. See? So we're talking about the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. They are one. We got pure spirit, takes on shape and form. That's Yahweh in shape and form. That's 2. Then manifest in the flesh. That's 3. But they are one. When the Messiah walked around here, he said, my Father and I, we're one. See? Then if you see that, and when you come to understand that, you see that can't be no Trinity. It has to be a unity of the Spirit. So we're seeing that transpire here. Then go in and read what it says now. If that's what's happening in heaven, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit is in heaven, and they're one. Read.
And there are 3 that bear witness in earth.
The 3 that bear witness in the earth.
The Spirit,
and
the water,
and
the blood.
And the blood.
And these 3 agree in one.
And these 3, they agree in one. See? So when we have a natural childbirth, you got to see that blood, water, and spirit in childbirth. See? then you and I to be born again in the Spirit, then we got to see that principle of blood, water, Spirit being demonstrated down through the age of dispensation to give you the confidence to believe in the Messiah that he is the Son. Read on what he says there.
If we receive the witness of men,
If we receive the witness of man,
the witness of Yahweh is
now
greater.
we were gullible when we received the witness of man. Reverend so-and-so get up on the floor and says, do this, do that, we jumped and did it. Not knowing that he didn't know, didn't understand, we went and did it. You see, that's a witness of man. See, read.
The witness of Yahweh is
The witness
greater.
of Yahweh
It's greater.
is greater.
For this is the witness of
For
Yahweh,
this is a witness of Yahweh,
that he testified of his Son.
that he testified of his Son. So the blood, the water, the Spirit is what testify of his Son. Read.
He that believeth on the Son of
He
Yahweh
that believeth on the Son of Yahweh,
hath the witness in himself.
then he had the witness in himself. So that's what you have to see. Then, if you have that in you, then you're going to be one with him, and also going to be set free. See, just by believing in the Messiah. So the whole thing is believing in the Messiah. So you have to come and hear the gospel preached to where you are able to accept what he did for you. Then after you accept it, then he's going to come in your heart and mind. That's going to set you free from all the things you were doing before. See, whatever you might have been doing that you thought was right to do, you find it's wrong, then you'll turn around and do that which is right in the eyesight of Yahweh. Because we didn't know. We talked about going down to church. You're going to go down to church and pay tithes. You're going to go down to church and worship the Lord in the church. See? Now, my book reads that he doesn't dwell in temples made with hands. So, I mean, we're going down to where he's not there. He's not even dwelling. When you really understand he's in you, then you have to see a better picture. He's in you right now. Where you know him. I'm talking about the creator of the heaven and earth is in you right now, where you know. You just got to accept it. That's what the problem comes in. If you don't accept him, you deny him. When you go out and be baptized, you're denying him. Because he did it for you. When you ate the Passover supper, see, he did that. You accept him, you don't have to do it anymore. But by you doing that, you are blaspheming him. You're showing that he didn't do what he said he come to do. See? So by doing that, you see where we were wrong at. Everything he did. Well, boy speak. No. He did that for us too. Why did he do that for us? Because when you always had Moses build this tabernacle, he took Aaron and his 4 sons, washed them in the labor here, so that they might function this tabernacle. So when the Messiah come in, he had to go and wash his disciples' feet. Why did he wash their feet? To fulfill this back here. So now, and then he's getting ready to send them out in the greater, more perfect tabernacle, or great world. See? So now, what we have to see now, the preaching of the gospel is going to deliver you from this here works of the law back here, and then because you'll be free in the Messiah, see. So, this understanding Yahweh's purpose and plan according to what he did with Israel in type and what's happening now in the earth plane in reality is a great, great mystery. The world has missed it.
Mm-hmm.
They do not see that the Messiah's mission was to take that old covenant away and to bring in the new covenant. See, now I want to go and get Hebrews 12 and 12 and 1 first, and then go down to 12 and 18.
Hebrews 12 and 1. Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses.
What's Paul talking about here? See? If you go back in the 11th chapter, he's talking about all the witnesses, all the prophets that spoke before, prophesied of the Messiah to come. See, he says, seeing we have this great cloud of witnesses, when you have all these prophets prophesying and the things coming to pass, see, we have this great cloud of witnesses. Read.
Let us lay aside every weight.
Let us lay aside every weight.
And the sin which does so easily beset us.
We got to be around here and being baptized, eating Lord's Supper. We burdened down with all these orders that were back there under the old covenant. You dragging them all around trying to do what you think doing right in the eyesight of Yahweh, being all burdened down with all those type of things. See? When you actually come in and see the Messiah came in and fulfilled it, that takes all that off of you. Now you just stand free and walk upright before Yahweh, because now He's Spirit. That Spirit in you now is causing you how to walk upright before Yahweh. See, read on.
And let us run with patience
Let's run with passion.
the race that is set before us,
Read.
looking unto Yahshua,
Looking unto Yahshua.
the author and finisher
Key
of
point now. See, looking unto Yahshua is what? He's what? He's the author
and finisher
and finisher of our faith. Well, that means when we find out he was back here with Moses, he was setting things up. That makes him the author. When he comes to the Lord and the Virgin Mary, that makes him the finisher. He's the author and finisher of our faith. Then when you see he did that for us, now you can stand firm in him, and you won't be swayed by doctrines and opinions and concepts of men, because now you see you have something you can stand on, which is in Yahshua's side. See? Okay, go down to 16, 17, which is down there.
18.
18 is where I want. 18.
18. For ye are not come
Now
unto,
here's Paul saying, now you are not come.
unto the mount that ye may not be, that might not be touched.
It might not be, now what's he talking about? See, we read and read on and we have an idea what he's talking about. See? Are we talking about the Sandia Mountains?
No.
See?
Mount Sinai.
Don't touch the Sandia Mountains? No, he's not talking about that. So we are not coming to the mount that may not be touched. When Yahweh brought the children of Israel out here to the mountain, in the wilderness, he said, don't let a beast touch the mountain. See? Yahweh was bold on top of the mountainside. He said, don't let a beast touch the mountain or come near unto him at that time. So now he's referring to that in type back here. So here he said, read it again now.
For ye are not come unto the mount that might not be touched,
Now we're not coming to the mountain that we might not be touched, read.
and that burnt with fire,
And that burned with fire,
nor unto blackness and darkness,
nor into blackness or darkness
and tempest.
and tempest, read.
And that's it.
No,
No,
keep going.
I'm
No,
going
no,
down.
I'm
I'm
saying
going
something
down. We
else.
got to cover all the way
And
down.
the sound of the trumpet
The sound of a trumpet.
and the voice of words.
Now what's happening, folks? See, if you don't understand what happened back here, what Paul is looking at, you won't be able to appreciate what he's going to talk about. See? So when Israel came to Mount Sinai, see, Yahweh called Moses up into the top of the mountain and told Moses to tell Israel, clean up. I'm going to give you 3 days to clean up. Don't go at your wives and come before me on the third day. On the third day, he says, to them, he says, well, on the third day, first thing that happened was they blew the trumpets for Israel to assemble. See? So they come out to the foot of the mountain. See? And then then Moses spoke to Yahweh, and Yahweh answered by saying, I am Yahweh thy Elohim that brought thee out of the land of Egypt. See? Now look, think about it, folks. Here's the Israel, they've been walking 47 days from the River Jordan to Mount Sinai. From Red Sea, right? From Red Sea to Mount Sinai. They've been walking 47 days. Get to the mountain, clean up. Then on this day, Yahweh speaks from Mount Sinai and said, I am Yahweh thy Elohim that brought thee out of the land of Egypt. They said, we didn't see him. Where did he go? What do you mean he brought you out of the land? We didn't see him come out of the land of Egypt. See, but they were following that cloud. The cloud that led them was a cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. So they were following this cloud. And as they sojourned and come to Mount Sinai, this cloud went and stood on top of Mount Sinai, and Yahweh spoke the law to Israel. See? So that's why Paul's looking back at this and what he's talking about. Okay, read.
Okay. So where was it?
78.
19th verse. And the sound of the trumpet
The sound when they blew the trumpets,
and the voice of words,
and the voice of words,
which voice they that heard and entreated that the word should not be spoken unto
then they
them.
entreated you to say, y'all don't let him speak to us no more, because he was too loud. See, he was too demanding. The earth was quaking. We don't want to hear him no more. See, read on.
For they could not endure that which was commanded.
They could not endure that which was commanded.
And if so much as a beast touched the mountain,
Think about the sight of a beast touched a mountain, he died. See, read.
it shall be stoned
He shall be stoned.
or thrust
Or
through
thrust
with a
the
dart.
Or killed him. Okay, read.
And so terrible was the sight.
Now Moses looking at him, so terrible was the sight. Now he'd been talking to Yahweh for almost 2 months. 3 months. I should say 3 months.
Mhm.
He's been talking to him. And even he was shaken. He was shaken by that here. Read.
And so terrible was the sight that Moses said, I exceedingly fear and quake.
So that means that was a horrible sight right there. See, read on.
But ye are come unto
But now it
Mount,
says, you are come
unto Mount Zion,
unto Mount Zion.
and unto the city of the living Elohim.
Oh, we got to get a ticket to go to Jerusalem now. See? Say, we are coming to Mount Zion. Mount Zion is in Canaan land. See? So we can fly there and go stand. Say, but you are come where?
Unto Mount Zion,
To Mount Zion.
and unto the city of the living Elohim,
Into the city of the living Elohim. He's alive and well. Read.
the heavenly
The
Jerusalem.
heavenly Jerusalem. We come to the heavenly Jerusalem.
What's different?
That's our mother, folks. We come to that. Read.
And to an innumerable company of
And
angels.
to an innumerable company of angels. See, angels all around. Right here in this room, there's angels in the room. See, somebody, oh, I'm scared. I don't see them. I'm scared. No, they're there for you. They're for your benefit, folks. They're to help you. See, you come down here to learn of Him, and as you learn of Him, you become a part of that environment of being a son of Yahweh. See, read on.
To the general
To
assembly
the general assembly.
and congregation of
And
the
congregation
firstborn,
of the firstborn,
which are written in
which are
heaven,
written in heaven.
and to Yahweh, the judge of all,
You come to Yahweh, the judge of all.
and to the spirits of just men made perfect.
Don't let nobody come till you go worship somebody else, worship some other religion. It won't work. It can't work because you already come there. If you have so come to Yahshua, you come to Him. You don't need anything else, folks. Accept Him and believe on Him. He'll take care of the rest of it. He said, I'll fight your battles. See? And if Israel really heard what Yahweh said and been obedient, it would have been a lot better off. See? When they came through the divided waters of the Red Sea, right there at the Red Sea, at the Red Sea, Moses told Israel, Yahweh will fight your battles.
Stand still.
Mm-hmm.
They stand still and see the salvation of Yahweh. Okay? They get off with you in the wilderness. Yahweh says, choose you out 12 men and go spy out the land. They go out and spy out the land. They were gone 40 days. They come back with evidence, with proof. The land does flow with milk and honey. They come back with grapes where 2 men had to carry one bunch of grapes. See? They come out carrying this here bunch of grapes. See? And the people, I said 12 went out. See? 2 brought back a true report. They brought back the fruit, evidence of the land being fruitful. See? The 10 of them said, no, we can't take it. We can't go take the land over. They're too many for it. They're giants, and we can't take them over. See? But Caleb and Joshua said, yes, we can. We can do it. They remember that Yahweh said He will fight their battles. But the rest of them, they fall short. They didn't believe. So we got to see the same thing had to happen, folks. We have to stand fast in Yahshua's side. Don't let somebody sidetrack you. I mean, they come up with all kinds of cutting things. See? Now here we are here in the last days. See? And the Messiah said the things that are happening around us today is coming to pass. See? Things in the 10th chapter of Matthew, I think, and you find in some other places too. He's talking about in that day that the fathers will be against the sons against the mothers, and the brothers against the brothers. They're going to be all together, that kind of corruption going on. See? We got all kinds of things going to happen today. We have, this got announced on TV today, a little baby was found, was stabbed, killed in the house. Little girl was stabbed to death in the house. Turned out to be her brother killed her. 12-year-old brother killed her. See, then you had, on Wednesday, you had 3 girls who had been in bondage for 10 years. See? Then you got, now the only thing good about it, 2 of the mothers, they had a beautiful Mother's Day gift, but them coming back home. See, one Mother's Day died already. See, so then you can see. But I'm just trying to show you, looking at what's happening, things happening in the world. Now you got all this corruption. Now you find the government being very corrupt. See, the RIS are in trouble. You got the government, the White House being challenged about the Benghazi affair. All those things are happening, folks. See, you keep your eyes open. Watch out. Just our Dr. King told us, watch the news, especially in the Middle East. See, and that Benghazi took place in the Middle East. And you see that the things are coming down there. It transpired they begin to try to find out things they didn't, what the government told us was a lie. And people might lose their position because of that too, because they're lying to the public. See, and here's a man talking about his office was going to be what was the word he used? Transparency, transparency, and far from that. Everything he did, he kept on covering up. See, well, sometimes the covers come off. And when they come off, it's not pretty. So you see what's going on. And this is things we should be aware of. Be aware of, be knowledgeable. Don't be off in the dark about it. But the things that are happening that way, that they are supposed to happen the way they are, because if, I'll put it this way, if it were not happening, then the Bible would be wrong. The Bible said this would happen, so now we should see it come to pass, and therefore we should then rejoice. We know the end is nigh. So we're getting ready to go home, folks. See, taking off this physical body and putting on a body like unto his, a spiritual body. See, beyond the possibility of death. See, and I know times it gets time we get up in the morning, we freshen ourselves up and try to get ready to go out and face the world. We do all the stuff we try to do. See, and then all the time your body's breaking down. You wake up in the morning, new pain someplace else. See, you try to, what's going on here? Well, see, I haven't seen a book on the market yet. See, where it's talking about getting old, things to expect. See, because everybody's body's going to be act a different way because of what they did in young life. See, and and a lot of times we don't think about those type of things. See, so you see all the things that happen and they all come around us. See, so we can see by that we're in the times of the end, and we should just be prepared for it. See, you know, firefighters, policemen, they have drills and practice how to go and save people, deliver people. That they just can't just first say go save somebody. They got to have some training to be able to deal with those type of things. See, so you're supposed to come down here and get prepared for this change is going to take place. It's a psychological change. We're trying to clothe you in the spiritual garments. See, Paul writing to the Ephesians, 6th chapter, 10th verse. Put on the whole armor of Yahweh, that you might be able to stand against the fiery darts of Satan. See, Satan's coming in all kinds of ways. See, come in to work, you tell you work all 8 hours, and we need to work another couple more hours. See, somebody said, come in, see, we need to work with another shift. See, now you got to work a whole 8 hours, now you work 18 hours, 16 hours. See, get home good, they say, call you back in. I mean, you got work, I'm talking about people in all kinds of situations. See, because the world is becoming more and more corrupt. Now you got this thing about homosexuality. That's going on. See, and I know, folks, see, the public don't want you to talk about it. See, and look, folks, if the laws are passed to promote it, and it's against Yahweh's will, then I have to stand for Yahweh, not for what the world's saying. That's right. Because Yahweh is greater than the world is. See, and Yahweh has a way of demonstrating his power about these type of things. See, and we're seeing it all the time happening, all that kind of things happening in the world. You're seeing all this stuff coming up. See, and look, the Apostle Paul, read the 21st chapter of Luke. Paul said, as it was in the days of Lot, so shall it be in the end of the age. Well, how was it in the days of Lot? There were a whole bunch, the whole city was turned over to homosexuality. Let's say it that way.
Sodom and Gomorrah.
So Sodom and Gomorrah, that's what it was.
Destroyed them.
And you always destroyed it because of what they were doing. And we're down to the same thing now. You always getting ready to do the same thing. And it's supposed to be at the end of the age, because he said, as it was in the days of Lot, then shall be in the end of this time. So we should see the same thing. Go back 15 years ago, 20 years ago, you didn't know much about the gays. They were there. We didn't know about it. It wasn't made prominent. So then they started doing, well, I guess longer than that, because it was 62. 76 when he told me.
They passed the law.
When they passed the law, when they consenting adults. It's fine, you know, so it could be 2 men, 2 women, 2 men, 1 woman, married and unmarried. They had all things going on. See, and they got this, and they just keep working the people, and making people feel sorry for them. Just so they give in and say, we'll let it go. Charles just gave me an article this today. See, in the paper, talking about giving a website that gave all the ministers in New Mexico that goes along with gay marriage. It's about 150 of them. 150 priests and preachers in New Mexico are going along with gay marriage.
They're being converted.
They're being converted to it. And this will be the ones supposed to fight against it. See? Yeah.
Can I ask a question about your lecture?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a little bit like twofold. When you got over there where Hagar was cast out and her son, because Sarah wanted that to happen, and Yahweh confirmed to Abraham that was right, so he cast them out. And she said that it was too much for them to bear, but then Yahweh blessed them about Hagar and Ishmael.
Ishmael, right?
Okay, so they were blessed also.
Right.
Okay, not just Abraham and his seed.
Right.
And from them came the Gentiles, basically. Some of the Gentiles, the Arabs and those, okay? But what I'm looking at is over there in
The Arabs are mostly is Ishmael's kids.
right. But okay, so they were blessed though.
Mhm.
Okay. In Galatians, you read there in 4:27, it says, "For it is written, seeing, O barren, thou that didst not bear, break forth into singing and crying aloud, thou that didst not travail with child. For," okay, now this is the part, "for more are the children of the desolate than the children of the married wife." So is it because the Gentiles, because the Jews rejected the Messiah? And so just like Paul, he would go and preach to the Jews first, and they would reject his preaching. So then he would go to the Gentiles. So there's more to
Of the Gentiles and
Israel
Israel was married to Yahweh.
or the married woman.
The married woman, that's Israel. They were married to the married woman. The Gentiles were not married to her.
And the married woman rejected
Right.
or rejected the Messiah.
Right. So then he turned, like he said, he turned and went to the Gentiles.
The desolate.
The desolate, right.
And then they become married.
That's right.
Yahshua.
Isaiah 42:6, 50. I should have went to 56, but I don't have time to do it. But anyhow, you see that they were all back there. They had to go. Yahweh was always had Israel, always had the Gentiles in mind, but they had to come in according to his purpose. That's what had to happen. They couldn't come in ahead of time until they came up. See, so I know I covered a lot of ground, and it might have been busy for a lot of people, but I wanted you to see that the book does talk about the Jews and the Gentiles. They had to see that Yahweh dealt with the Israelites for a while. Then he came in and fulfilled and moved that out of the way to bring in the new covenant. The new covenant now is where you and I are married to the Messiah. And being married to the Messiah, you're married to Jerusalem above. Jerusalem above is the mother of us all. I didn't have read John 3:1, 1 John 3:1, where he said that Messiah, John says, see, that we are the sons of Yahweh. So we're being sons of Yahweh, that means we're married to Jerusalem above, or to the Messiah.
Sure.
And the Messiah, he is our husband, and we should be his bride, and should walk upright before him, and that the world know that Yahshua is alive and doing well. See, that we just should become sons of his in obedience. See, hope and trust you got something I want to say. Thank you very much.
Hope and trust you enjoyed this morning's lecture. And we want to thank our first-time visitor, Elizabeth Whitman, for coming out and studying with us. And let's stand to be dismissed with the last two verses of Jude. Now to him that is able to keep you from falling and to present you faultless before the presence of his glory with exceeding joy. To the only wise Elohim, our Savior, through Yahshua the Messiah, our Sovereign, belong glory, majesty, dominion, and power, both before all time, now and ever. Let us all say, Hallelujah.
Pray you have announced that you and everybody and me are going out of town.
Oh,
What?
oh.